Years ago, I remember, I used to live in a suburb in Nigeria, like outskirts of Lagos State. And I remember God started blessing me. I started traveling outside the country. And to my surprise, I would just return. Even Okada men will be telling my wife, your husband don't return, oh, don't come back. And it began to look as if amongst everybody there, we're the ones who travel often. And in fact, I had to tell my wife, it's time to leave this neighborhood. It's time to leave this neighborhood. We cannot begin to look as if we're the richest. No, it's time to go to another place where whatever we have means nothing. And we moved to a new place. I remember the first day I moved there, I woke up in the morning, I check, because it was a story building, I checked my neighbor's compound to the right, the type of car that I saw, the least car, okay, was better than my only car then. The least car. In fact, the car the guy was using, my neighbor to the right, used to play around, right, is like almost 10 times in terms of value than my only best car. I moved to the left. Same thing. I say, yes, we have gotten to the right environment. Now we will hustle. We work hard, okay, to climb up. And that was exactly what happened. And again, I'm changing, location. I'm moving to Banana Island. Again, same process. Because if you are the best in your neighborhood, something is wrong. Billionaires only go for mutually beneficial relationship. Years ago, I used to feel that all these rich people, okay, I used to feel that they are proud. I don't know how many of you used to feel like that. How many of you used to feel rich people are proud? If you think that way, can you type I think that way? How many of you used to feel like rich people, wealthy people, they're just proud people, arrogant people. You can't be their friends. Okay? Now, over time, in recent time, I'm shocked at the level of humility that wealthy people have. In fact, today, I can tell you that rich people are more humble than poor people. I'm not kidding you. Today, I can tell you, you may disagree with me, but I'm speaking from my own experience. Today, I can tell you that rich people, very wealthy billionaires, are way, way less judgmental, less racist than poor people. You need to go to America. Who are the biggest racists? African Americans. I travel a lot in America, and I have faced worse racism from African Americans than I've even faced from rich white people. And I mean it. So what I realized, it took me a while to realize this. It took me a while. I realized that billionaires only go for mutually beneficial relationship. Right? Like, so I used to feel they don't want to be my friend. They don't want to do. Today, big people, they just reach out to me. Hello, I got your number from so-so. And I'm like, this is somebody I've been looking for. And the person is so humble enough to be the one to reach out. You know why they are reaching out? Mutually beneficial. Now they have something that they think I can add to them. And of course, they have something to add to me. Oh, you don't need to ask that question. They definitely have something to add. Okay, are you learning, guys? If you're learning, type I'm learning, I'm learning. I mean, these are revelation. The recent years of my life, has been really amazing. I've been shocked. Okay, I've been very, very shocked. Like, I'm like, really? I didn't know this about people, about all these wealthy people. I just used to have this mindset. So billionaires only become friends with mutually beneficial people. What can you also add? Yes, I'm a rich man, but how can you also add value to my life? How useful are you to me? And I think it makes sense because that's how they became rich. If they have always been friends with people who are not adding value to them, how would they have been that wealthy? Many of us, that's part of our problem. All your friends, the people you call friends, they have not added any value to you. There is no way they have touched your life in any way. There are always people who have nothing to contribute. In fact, they are the ones who always say bad things about you, and you people will now turn it to competition. And sometimes I'm like, what's going on here? Who are your friends? How much value are they adding to your life? Okay? You must go for mutually beneficial relationship. Everybody, can you type win-win relationship? Everybody, come on, type win-win relationship. I also want you to type quality people only. Okay? QPO. Quality people only. Everybody, type it. I want you to type it. Win-win relationship. That's the first thing to type. The second thing I want you to type is quality people only. Type it right now. Everybody, type it on the comment box. Because this is where we miss it. You must make sure that the closest people to you are people that you are both mutually adding value to your lives. Quality people only. Mutually beneficial people. They can't add value, no wala, move on. Move on. But you have to be somebody that you win, I win. You make progress, I make progress. But all this one of, help me now, save me now, change my life now. If you don't help me, I go die. Me too, I get problem. While I know they finish. That's what they say where I come from. While I know they finish, right? So everybody has an issue. So you just have to take it serious to say, anytime I go into a relationship, I must add value to the person. Two stories I'm going to share with you guys here. The first story is Daddy Gio story. One day, Daddy Gio was preaching redemption camp, and he said, my son died last month or something like that. And then, the interpreters kept quiet. So Daddy Gio had to repeat it again. I said, my son died. Baba wa nolu asope omo won ku. He was saying it almost with fear. Like, I can imagine the guy is wondering which of Daddy's son, what's going on, what kind of statement is this? And Gio kept on and said, this, my son, is so dear to me. It's so dear to me. He said, every time I'm in the UK, he comes around, handle my laundry, plan my itinerary. So, and, Gio said, this, my son, anytime I'm in the UK, he handles my laundry, my food, my itinerary, and all of that. He said the last time I was with my son, he was at the hospital bed. And, I went to pray for him. And I told him, and he said, Daddy, okay, I'll get my friend to come and help you handle your itinerary. He said, Daddy said, I just told him, my son, I just want you to be well. I'm going to be fine. Don't worry about my itinerary. I just want you, my son, to be well. And he went on with that story. But this is the lesson I want to pick out. How many of you could believe that Daddy Gio will need somebody, okay, to handle his laundry, to handle his itinerary, to handle his food in London? Daddy Gio. How many of you can believe that? And this is where people miss it, right? Because you just sit down somewhere and say, rich man has everything, he doesn't have any problem. Now me get problem. That's a selfish way of looking at life. I'm the only one that has problem. All these rich people, they don't have problem. I'm the only one that's a selfish person right there. Because it's all about you. It's all about, and instead of you saying, hey, no, it's not true. It's not true. I was shocked when do you believe that the Gio, the pastor of the largest, church, in Nigeria, can be in London and then somebody was so instrumental to handling his itinerary at his level? Are you learning, guys? If you're learning, type, I'm learning. I'm learning. Every rich man has a problem. Every rich man has a need. And God has structured life in a way that in many cases, okay, in many cases, the solution to some of the challenges of a rich man is in the hand of the poor man. And the solution of the poor man is in the hand of the rich man. God, okay, God has structured it that way. God has structured it that way. I'm telling you facts here. That a lot of times, if you look well, just that a lot of time, everybody is busy about their own personal needs and not bothering. Okay? The solutions, okay, of the rich man, in some cases, is in the hand of the poor man. Because some of his challenges is not money related. Okay? Same thing, the solution of the poor man is in the hand of the rich man, because of course, most of 80% of a poor man's problem is money related. So it's a powerful principle, mutually beneficial relationship. So anytime you're trying to be a friend of a rich man, ask yourself, what could be the problem of this man? What could be the challenge? How can I help this person? Second story, I was in an elevator, I was in an hotel, and the Minister for Transportation in Nigeria were taking the same elevator. You know, he was already in the elevator by the time I, entered. And I just greeted him, he greeted me. And you could see him almost thinking I was going to, of course, the normal, African, pattern, where you are going to start disturbing the man with, Oga, thank God I meet you, help me here. And he was shocked that till he got to where he was going, he didn't hear any word from me. In fact, while he was leaving the elevator, he had to greet me again. And it was quite polite. Now, is it that I didn't want to ask him for something? No. While I was, between the few seconds I was in that elevator, there's something called elevator speech. I kept asking myself, I know what I need from any minister for transportation. Trust me, I have something I need. Okay? That is a sure fact. But I kept thinking, what could this man need? And I could not come up with any, and I decided not to ask him for anything. And these are the attitude. These are habits of billionaires. These are habits. And billionaires do the same. If a billionaire meets another billionaire, he's not asking for, help me, do this for me. He's always thinking, how can I solve this man's problem? He may know what he needs from the guy. But the first thing he's thinking is, because it's a nature, right? So the first thing he's thinking is, yeah, I need this from this guy. But what can I also add to the guy's life, right? That will make it make sense. So that our relationship then makes sense. And this is one of the powerful things. That's why when you see billionaires, I don't know if you notice, billionaires are always friends with people they do deals with. Like when you ask an average billionaire and he shows you 5 of his closest friends, they have 5 deals together. If you agree with me, type I agree. And I'm not kidding you. Like an average billionaire that you say, okay, and he comes out and say, this is my friend, right? You go check it out. Ask him and that guy, that they are friends. They have business deals. There's something they are both doing together. All my closest friends today, there is business transaction that link both of us. And I remember one of the aides to Professor Shibaju. I'm from Nigeria, right? Professor Shibaju is our vice president. One of the aides to the vice president in our church, one day was, they were doing like a discussion in our church, and she was almost crying, saying, I'm sad. Since my boss has become the vice president, everybody who call him, they are always asking for one favor or the other. We hardly have people call my boss to tell him they have a solution to the challenges of Nigeria. We hardly find people call my boss for the sake of having something to add. It's always about their needs, their problems, how they need him to help them. And that this is part of the reason why Nigeria is not progressing. And I agree with her. Because we are mutually part of the problem of our countries. And I believe this is also the same for most other parts of Africa. Once your relative become a minister, a president, a governor, everybody in your family feel that that's the time to extort the government. It's not their time for national cake. Nobody is saying now that our brother, our auntie is a minister, a commissioner, a governor. How do we help our auntie to change the country so that she's remembered for good? He's remembered for the impact he or she has generation. Everybody's just bothered about, hey, help me, my needs, my needs. This is why billionaires always surround themselves with people who are also adding value to them. That's why they remain billionaires, because everybody around them is also adding something. They are adding something, those people too are adding something. So from today, I want everybody to type here, 2021. I will only go for win-win relationship. Everybody type it. Oh yeah, type. Everybody type it here. 2021, I will only go for win-win relationship. I want you to all type it. Remember, share this video 20 times. On Facebook, on WhatsApp, a gentleman just shared 25 times. God bless you. God will honor you. I'm grateful for all of you who are sharing. We need to let this information go. We are changing lives because wealth is a function of your mind. You can only be as rich as your mind. You are poor because you've not empowered your mind. It's the mind game. Wealth is always a function of the mind. So everybody, I want you to make a vow. Type it right now. 2021, I will only go for win-win relationship. Everybody type it. 2021, I will only go for a win-win relationship. Only relationship that we're mutually adding value to each other. I'm not going to go for a relationship where I'm not adding value. The other person is not adding value. The other person is a parasite, extorting from me, only wanting me to give. They are not giving anything. No way. I will go for a relationship where I'm adding value to my friends. My friends are adding value to me. I'm changing the life of my friends. My friends are changing. We are mutually helping each other. That is the kind of relationship you want to do. In my entire life, I'm yet to meet a billionaire that's a gossiper. Let me repeat it again. And I'm not talking of corrupt politicians who stole money. I don't consider those ones rich people. I don't care how much you have. As long as you're a politician and you stole money, you are not rich. You only stack cash somewhere. So whenever I teach on this platform, I'm talking about people who worked hard, who did business and made money. And I'm not, because one of the challenges we face in Africa is that our politicians have changed our mindset and redefined what it means to be rich. An average, mindset of an average person in Africa just thinks that everybody who is successful is a crooked person. There are a lot of rich people who worked hard and made it legally and legitimately, and that's very important. So number 3 is visionary people. Billionaires only move with others who have vision. They only move with friends who have vision. And that's why I said that I am yet to meet a billionaire that is a gossiper. Whenever I am with my billionaire friends, it's always vision conversation. We just launched a new project. It's worth also billion. Oh, we are going to do this project. Our project 2035, our project 2050, and we are moving on with this. It's always conversation around project and vision and some things they want to do, about some plans that they have to do. It's always conversation around project, vision. Right? I'm yet to meet a billionaire that is a gossiper. My wife always said this, humorously to me. So it's not sweet to gossip with you. Because once you start those conversations, this person did that, I say, okay, let me tell you why I find it difficult to gossip. I'll tell you the reason why today. Number 1 reason, there is no perfect human being in this world. That's my belief. And I realized that one of the biggest frustrations you're going to face in your life is thinking that there's somebody that is perfect. Sometimes you join Facebook show like this, and then you look at me, I'm teaching you guys, in teaching you and giving you all that, and you say, oh, perfect man. This man, Dr. Stephen, the best man I've ever met in my life. Better than that stupid uncle that I have. Better than that stupid pastor that I call my pastor. Better than that stupid mother. Come, stop that nonsense. There is no perfect human being. In fact, if you are always looking for human beings to be perfect, you are the one that something is wrong with. Because what you're trying to do is to play your imperfection in others. Those things that are not perfect about you, you are wishing you find it in others. And it's not there. No human being is perfect. This is one of the reasons why I've been able to keep great relationship. Because I don't go into relationship with people and I want to see their perfection. In fact, I want to know your bad part quickly. Right? So that I know how to behave myself so that I don't see that bad part. Right? But I have no problem seeing somebody angry. Because even the Bible didn't tell you not to be angry. He only said, don't let the sun go down on your anger. Because he knows that God created you to have the tendency to be angry. So he said, I couldn't believe it. I saw him. He was angry. Oh, he's a devilish man. Are you kidding me? Even Jesus was angry and went to the temple and flogged people out of the whole temple. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Messiah, Savior of the world. You heard me. Go read it in your Bible. You didn't see it. So when you come to me, right, oftentimes gossip is always about what is bad about somebody else, isn't it? So you come and say, do you know this person has anger problem? It is well. Let's pray for him. May God deliver him. Do you see how the gossip is no longer sweet? Because I'm not surprised he has anger problem. Every human being has one mistake or challenges. That we're all trying to be better people. And anyone who is trying to deceive you and say, I'm a perfect human being, you should run from them. Can everybody type run? Oh yeah, come on, type run. Any mortal human being that is giving you an impression that he or she is perfect, run from such people because those are devils. Honest friends, not perfect friends. I was shocked when I realized that a lot of billionaires, have an attitude of doing some things with certain people that they don't do. And I'll give you a typical example. How many of you know Money Mayweather? If you know Mayweather, type Mayweather. Come on. Everybody type. If you know Mayweather, type Mayweather. Money Mayweather. How many of you know Mayweather? Okay? If you know Mayweather, type Mayweather. So number 4 is billionaires have a habit of picking friends that are not perfect but honest. Billionaires have a habit of picking friends that are not perfect but honest. How many of you have seen Mayweather in party with drinks? Pictures of Money Mayweather, at a party, okay, with drinks. You could see alcohol, it could be in a party, and then you see alcohol. Now, can I shock you that Money Mayweather has never, Floyd Mayweather, has never drank in any of those parties? All those drinks you see on the table, he doesn't taste them, not once. He doesn't. He doesn't. So, the question will be, if Mayweather does not drink, why does he sometimes have friends that drink? This is where we miss it. This is where we miss it. Sometimes I will see situations where people always wonder. Billionaires have realized they have to be. Sometimes your customer is a certain kind of person. Hey, that's not who you are. And the funny thing I realized, they respect each other. They will say, no, pastor, that one a pastor. Pastor. And, that one are this. Everybody just learn to respect themselves. Okay? And move on. But it's among poor people that they must do what you are doing. They must be your church member. They must be from your village people, else you won't do business with them. You see people, literally poor people, say, I don't trust anybody who is not from my church. And I'll be shaking my head. I cannot marry anybody who is not from my village. And I'll be like, that's poverty talking. That's how poor people think. That's how poor people talk. Rich people are just after, hey, he's not perfect, but he's a honest man. He's a honest man. If he gives, say, A, take it to the bank. If he says B, take it to the bank. How many of you agree with me that even thieves love honest people? If you agree, type I agree. And that's why I was shocked when somebody told me a story about a very known corrupt politician. And they said that his accountant is an SU. Okay, if you're not from Africa, if you're not from Africa, you know what SU is. SU are evangelicals who are very strong evangelicals. So they are called SU, right? When I was shocked when the person told me that the man's accountant, and this man is known to be a corrupt politician, but the same, even though he's a thief, he steals public money, he decided to make his own accountant, okay, to be a strong religious man who does not play with stealing. Do you see what we're talking about? Okay? But it's poor people who are busy saying, I can't deal with this. I can't, and I just laugh. And there's a lot of time we need to evolve and understand how business works. I remember one day, some people were shocked when they saw my bishop with one of the Nigerian politicians, trying to make peace meeting. And everybody, I saw it on social media and they were castigating. And I just laugh. At the top, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about perfect people anymore. It's just about who is honest and honest conversations. It's not about perfection. At the top. At the top. So I laughed when I remember when I saw on social media and people started castigating my bishop, that they saw him, in a peace meeting with this politician. Can you imagine? Hey, ooh, I was laughing. At the top, ladies, you have no choice. You will have to deal with people who are not perfect. But your own is to focus on building relationship, people who are honest, people you can count on their words, and that's what's important. And in my life, I've been shocked that I've met people of my religion who don't keep to their words. One of the most annoying set of people you will meet sometimes are religious people. Somebody shared a story with me of a man. when you meet him, he's going to pray 5 times in a 1-hour meeting. 5 times. Let's pray. Let's pray, sir. Let's pray. Meanwhile, you can never trust him. If he tells you it is dark outside, you better go and check it. It's daytime. Yeah. This man, he will tell you to pray 5 times in a 1-hour meeting with him. But the same person, if he tells you it's dark, like let's check outside. If the man says it's dark now, go and, if he tells you it's daytime, go and check. You will see it's dark. By the time you go out, you're going to see that it's dark outside. Right? It's actually not daytime. Right? So you need to be delivered from certain mindset. Today, I don't judge people. I don't do it. I don't go for meetings and I say, see him, he likes to drink. I don't drink, by the way. Okay? But he likes to drink, that's his business. Okay? What business do we have together? Can we make money? And we move on. Are you learning at all? Relational habits of billionaires. Because some of the people God will use to help you are not going to be from your tribe. They are not going to be from your religion. They are not going to be but God will still use them to bless you. Okay? When the Bible talks about the wealth of the Gentiles, what do you think it means? Do you think the wealth will fall down from heaven? No. It means people that do not practice what you practice, but the same set of people, God will use them to help you and lift you up. But God ain't gonna be able to use those people to help you when you are discriminating against them. When anytime you see them, you say, no, these people, they are not as, like me, I'm a saint. Are you kidding me? You're not perfect. So focus on honesty. Are you learning, guys? If you're learning, type, I'm learning. Come on, talk to me. Habits of billionaires. And today, this is a series for those of you just joining us. And today we're looking at the relational habits of billionaires. Okay, relational. How do they relate with the other people? How do they attract friends? How do they meet friends? How do they connect with other people? And if you don't learn this, you will have a challenge even when you're on your path towards becoming wealthy, because your background, your stereotypes, right? Your mindset is not going to hinder your ability to succeed because you don't even understand how these people behave. When you see an average, let me give you an average typical 5 billionaires. When you see them, in many cases, they are from different tribes, different religion. I can assure you, you go check an average meeting of 5 billionaires, different tribes, different religion. You go see an average meeting of average poor person. Almost everybody there is either of the same religion or of the same tribe. This is where we miss it. Billionaires only keep positive relationship. Positive relationship. Even if those people are poor. Even if those people are not as wealthy as they are. And this is one of the powerful ways you can attract a billionaire. Be positive. Just have a positive attitude to life. Just have an exciting attitude to life. Okay? Just have a positive outlook. When things go bad, have a way of seeing it from a positive perspective. Okay, find a way. The only set of people around my life who are not wealthy are people who are positive. If I have a rule, right? If you are negative, you can't last around me. If you're negative, anytime you see an opportunity, you start talking negative about it. It's not for people like us. I'm already having an issue with that. You see something good, and then the next statement is that it's not for people like us. So it's for which type of people? Who told you? Did they write poverty on your forehead when you were given back to? If not for you, who else? Who else? You see skyscrapers. You say it's not for people like us. I cringe. I cringe. I say sometimes, today, one young man was posting on my wall. He said, but, all this becoming rich is not for students. And I said, well, you're a student. Your primary responsibility is to read your book. So stop coming to my wall to be complaining like you're a victim. Your primary responsibility is to read your book. And for your information, I started business as a student. And I started with $10, 1,000 naira, as a student. So stop giving Stop being negative. Every time they mention something positive, the first thing you're going to say is not for poor people like us. It's not for students like us. It's not for, as if there was a list of poor people when they were creating human beings. And then your name was added to that list. Who told you are poor? Your bank account is not a proof that you are poor, my friend. Once wealth is on your mind, it's a matter of time you're going to have it physically. Do you know when I became a billionaire in Naira, I'm on my way to billionaire in dollars right now. But I'm a billionaire in Naira, in my local currency in Nigeria. Of course, in asset, not by what's in my account. But do you know when I became a billionaire? On campus, in the university, when I started reading books on money, when I started reading books on business, on entrepreneurship, on success, on positive attitude, positive mentality. That's when because it's the mind that this thing starts from the mind. You say, we poor people. Who told you? Change your tongue and change your life. I can't stand around people like that. I don't care how much is in your pocket. If you can walk with me with a positive attitude, believing you too, you are among wealthy people. You may not have it in your account today, but you see yourself that way. I can be your friend. But you can't be my friend when your tongue is always negative. Sir, it's not for we poor people. Sir, you don't understand. You don't know where I'm coming from. You don't understand my background. What? Your background is not the reason why your back is on the ground. We all came from a poor background. I inclusive. My mother was a civil servant, junior staff. My father business at Kola before I was born. I was born in Maiduguri, northern part of Nigeria. There was no electricity. There was no running water. No running water growing up. I don't know most of, in the 80s, most of the cartoons they used to play. I don't know them because we never had TV in my house. We had TV, but we don't have electricity. We're in a village. We're in a village. But as I started reading books, I knew I was going to be wealthy. I spoke like a rich man. Go ask anybody that went to university with me. They will tell you, I had faded jeans and I'll be telling them, I'm going to be one of the richest people in this world. I'll be telling them, some of them will be laughing at me. I will tell them, I say, I'm a rich man. I will tell them, I'm 15 years ahead of most of you here. They will say, very proud guy. All these books he's reading has entered his head. But is he not speaking now? Those things I said those days, is it not happening today? It starts with your mind. Billionaires are only going to pick friends that are positive in their words, positive in their attitude, positive in their behavior, positive mental attitude, positive thinking people, positive talking people. I really cringe. Sometimes I struggle to hold myself when people start talking. I'm like, why do you think like this? Why do you talk like this? Who told you you're poor? Who told you? Who told you? Dangote is said to be worth $20 billion. Do you know he doesn't see those money? It's just numbers. In fact, I remember one day Dangote said he had to withdraw $10 million or $1 million and put it on his bed and later return it back. Because they said it was worth X amount of money. It was X. And he just, because what people don't know about these billionaires, you keep saying they are billionaires. They don't deal with cash. They deal with asset. So you can say, I'm a billionaire now, right? In properties, in landed properties. You may check my account now and we don't even have, 10 million naira there. Okay? But of course, by the time we measure the properties I have, the landed properties I have, the asset that I have, is running to billions. That is how people are billionaires. So stop seeing yourself that because in fact, you may even have more in your bank account than an average billionaire. Yes, because these people deal with assets. They deal with shares, equity. Right? So, but you even have real raw cash, yet you are still thinking poor. You're still talking poor. It's not for people like us. We poor people. Stephen Akintayo does not coach we poor people. And I just shake my head. Why do I come here every day and I teach you for free? Okay? Isn't that an open ticket to everyone? Right? The day I now say, oh, I have a coaching program, it costs $10,000. I say, hey, Start with the free coaching. That's how I did it. All my mentors today, I started by watching the free materials they had. Now that I have money, I'm able to pay for their paid materials. That's how you do it. But for you to sit down somewhere and you're angry and say it's not for we poor people, as though he owes you money, as though, you know, there's something about him that is supposed to make him to be sent to people like you. I don't get it. It's a adage in my local dialect that says that one rich man in the midst of poor people is still poor. And the reason for that is because everybody around him is still going to drag him down, right? It's still going to drag him down. So, and that's just the reality. So it's important that you surround yourself. Now, by the way, this has nothing to do with helping people. Rich people are always helping people. Helping people is not the same. I don't need to be your friend before I help you, right? So we're saying people who you spend more time with, because those you spend time with add to you. What they say goes into what we call your subconscious. Okay, so you spend most of your time with these people. It goes into your subconscious. I remember the other day I told my orderly and my driver, and I told them, I said, I want you to go back to school. I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay. I told my last born and my sister too. I said, I want you to go back to school. My sister said, no, rather sponsor my children. I said, fine. You know, but let it be on record. I told you I want to send you back to school. Right? So rich people are always trying to make sure everybody around them is progressing. It's an intentional decision because they know that these people, the quality of people around you determine the quality of your life. You can't do better than the quality of people around you. You can't. Even if you are doing better now, it's temporary at some point, because there will be a day of crisis, right? There will be a day of challenges. If you don't have the right kind of people who can say the right words to you in your darkest moments, because they've been through it, because they've been part of it, they've gone through it, then your darkest moment becomes your sinking moment. Your sinking moment. Because you don't have the right set of people. Let me give you a typical example. I know a lady who made a loss in her business to the tune of 250 million. And she's never seen that kind of money before. And in fact, 180 million out of that money was not her money. People put it in her hands. Okay, and I remember I run a mentorship program with her, you know, for a couple of months. She's back now, and she's doing even better than she was. I will never forget one Easter. She said, it's Easter. I can't even boast of food to feed my children. And it's Easter. I felt like crying when she was sharing this story with me. But she's been my mentee over the years. We've known each other over the years. Right? She came out of that challenge because she had mentors. She had relationship of people who can tell her, do this. In fact, at some point I told her, I said, if your debtors are giving you a headache, bring me. I will speak to them. I will be your guarantee for all these your debtors that they should give you. I've given you a strategy that will bring you out in the next 6 months. If your debtors are not willing to give you 6 months, right? Invite me to have a meeting with all your debtors. I will put my reputation on the line for you. Okay? So you see, now imagine if someone like me was not in her life. People commit suicide over losses of 20 million. How much more of a 250 million and about 180 million is not even your own money? People commit suicide, depression, death over things like that. So that's why you want to surround yourself with positive people. You want to surround yourself with people who are going somewhere, because you too, you need help. Right? Don't think you are, because things are going fine with you, one day you need help. A day is coming. There are going to be a lot of challenges too. You will need help. But if you refuse to surround yourself with people who can help you move forward, sustain you in your days of infirmity, motivate you, speak words of wisdom, words of encouragement to you in your own darkest hours, when that day comes, that becomes your end.